back to the Wandering Star Farmhouse. This is breakfast Jeremy made for us this morning, and we had some leftover green chilies from the black bean soup that I made in the last video. And I don't know, probably some onions, maybe some black beans from that soup too. Jeremy put that together for breakfast and it was delicious. Now, I made some pumpkin muffins this afternoon using pumpkin from that we grew that was in our freezer. But this time, instead of doing cinnamon, I traded the cinnamon out for allspice and then added in these pepitas instead. And it was a delicious pumpkin muffin recipe that was like a different flavor from normal. And this is Welsh rarebit, basically a cheese sauce that you eat on bread. This is the sourdough bread that I made in the last video as well. My kids love pumpkin pie, so today I made an impossible pumpkin pie, which is where you add a little bit of flour to the batter, and then it kind of forms its own little crust on the bottom, so you don't have to make a pie crust, but it still tastes pretty similar to just pumpkin pie. It was a crazy night, so we had pancakes for dinner, peanut butter pancakes with fresh grapefruit. Today my son really wanted frosting for some reason. We told him you can't just eat frosting, you have to make a cake to put the frosting on. So he did. Unfortunately, our toddler got to the cake before he frosted it, but if that's not what frosting's for, I don't know what it's for. We set that aside to eat after dinner. Today is Saturday. I went thrifting today and actually found this star for my Wandering Star Farmhouse. It was actually a pack of 3 and they're just kind of slightly different sizes. So now I have to find some fun places around my homestead to put my Wandering Stars. But we are going to be having dinner tonight. I have just one pack from my pantry left of little raviolis. There's spinach and ricotta raviolis. So that's not enough for my family to eat for dinner for a meal. So I'm actually gonna turn this into ravioli soup tonight. And I'll be using homegrown garlic and homegrown onions, and then some carrot, celery, and ground beef, and then my home canned pasta sauce and home canned beef broth. Nuclear. Tonight I left Jeremy home alone to make dinner, so he decided to make jambalaya with these frozen mussels that were in the back of the freezer. Today we are making some muffins. This is something with the pantry challenge that I find my kids need after school snacks and things, because we aren't buying like the crackers and chips and things that we normally would be buying regularly from the store. So I'm just baking a lot of kind of snack food for the kids. This is zucchini I froze this summer. The zucchini actually is my friend's zucchini, but it's been in our freezer. Made some delicious muffins. And in the back of my freezer, I have this frozen mac and cheese that I had made a really big pan for a neighborhood get-together that didn't have as many people as I was expecting. So I went ahead and like cut it in half and froze this chunk to bring out at a later point. So today's that day. Gonna pop this in the oven to reheat it. It's like a 3-cheese baked macaroni. It's really pretty good. Today is just leftovers. We have the rest of that mac and cheese and then some more of the tamale pie that I made in last week's video. But since we're just having leftovers, I thought I'd make some homemade bread to go along with it. So I made a double batch again. I got this first one all cooked and ready to eat, just kind of right at the end of dinner time it was ready. And so we were able to enjoy that. And then I headed upstairs with my little ones to get them ready for bed while Jeremy took the older boys to activities. Now, unfortunately, after a whole chapter of the Black Stallion, I came out of the room and smelled that the house was full of smoke. I had burnt the second loaf to a crisp, and I texted a picture to Jeremy and just locked myself in my room for the rest of the night. But Jeremy's so good. He came home and he got into this bread and dug out the good bread from inside this burnt husk. He added some eggs and milk and turned it into a bread pudding to have for breakfast. He added a streusel topping to the top of it all, and it was seriously delicious. This week was a little bit of a rough one. It's a lot of work to keep a whole family fed with food from scratch all the time, but we're doing it. So tonight I'm gonna make pizza, but I'm using home canned pizza sauce, and for toppings, we have pepperoni, some Kalamata olives from the fridge, marinated artichokes from the back of the fridge. So we're a little low on pizza toppings at this point in the pantry challenge.